Steelers Nation? I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that we went ahead and signed Dawayne Haskins, formerly of the Washington Redskins, who was released earlier this year due to some off-the-field stuff. And my reaction to it is, okay, you know, what's the worst that can happen? He comes in, he doesn't give Josh Dobbs and Mason Rudolph competition, doesn't earn a spot, we cut him. Maybe we sign him to a practice squad. Maybe that's an option. Who knows? But everybody know he was a high first-round pick in a 2019 draft, Washington Redskins. You know Mike Tomlin, he's from Virginia. Dawayne Haskins is from Virginia. So, you know, he's looking out for his Virginia boy, and he's going to give him an opportunity here. You know, maybe he's better than Josh Dobbs. Maybe he's better than Mason Rudolph. You know, I don't know. How much more room does Mason Rudolph have to grow? You know, maybe that lights a fire under Mason Rudolph. So make Mason Rudolph like, look, I can't be resting on my laurels. I got to get better. You know, just because I came out and did all right against Cleveland, there's still room for me to grow into possibly a franchise quarterback if and when Ben Roethlisberger leaves. So, you know, and with Dawayne Haskins, when he was with Ohio State, his thing was the short passing game, hit the wide receivers, because they had so much talent at wide receiver at Ohio State that they was just calling wide receiver screens and short routes. And they were so fast, like Paris Campbell, who's with the Colts right now, and things like that, that they would just take it to the house. So he's really adept at the short passing game, and everybody knows that's what we do. We pass the ball short. We did it all this year with Ben Roethlisberger. So maybe that plays into Dawayne Haskins' hands. The short passing game, you know, so, you know, he could come in and maybe, you know, succeed at that. And we all know that Mason Rudolph, he's a deep ball passer. He likes to get the ball deep, and he's good at it. But he's not really good at the short passing game. You know, Dawayne Haskins might be better at the short passing game than Mason Rudolph right now. But where Dawayne Haskins lacks, Mason Rudolph is good at, and that's the long passing game to intermediate route. You know, so we'll see how it all works out. We'll see if Josh Dobbs, you know, will he get better to hold off Dawayne Haskins? Will Josh Dobbs overtake Mason Rudolph? Will that light a fire under him? You know, so if Dawayne Haskins is able to stick around and learn from Ben Roethlisberger for a year, you know, who knows? Maybe he reaches his full potential. You know, Ben Roethlisberger, an old veteran quarterback like that, that'd be great for Dawayne Haskins, for him to get that opportunity to learn from him. You know, he's not that mobile. He's big, maybe like 6'3", 6'4", maybe like 230 pounds. So he's a pretty big guy. So, you know, this is really all reward. There's really no risk involved. You know, his contract isn't that big or anything like that. It's some competition to put in that quarterback room and, you know, see what he does. You know, it's just too bad with COVID and everything going on. He's not going to get as many opportunities in an off season. You know, I doubt that they're going to go back to a regular off season schedule before the COVID hit and everything like that, where it's mini camps and things like that. So that's going to hurt Dawayne Haskins as far as him learning the playbook, the Steelers playbook and everything like that. So he just has to get out there and work. Maybe he can call up some wide receivers like James Washington, Deontay Johnson, and Chase Claypool, and they can go to a high school field and they could get to work. You know, they're pros, so I'm sure they know what it takes to get better, you know, to be successful. And like I said, hopefully that off-field, that was just immaturity. Everybody makes mistakes. He was young. He still is young. So, you know, he made a mistake. You know, we all know that when they benched him earlier in the year. He had a problem with it, you know, and I sympathize with him because who on that roster is really that good for him to get benched? You know, you gotta let him learn from his mistakes, you know. So I sympathize with his frustration when he was at Washington. You know, he's a young guy. He ain't gonna come in and keep setting the world on fire. He's gonna make mistakes. And you gotta, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and live with those mistakes. You know, so he'd be better in the long run. You know, he wasn't a first or second or third pick like a Joe Burrow where, you know, you're expecting the quarterback to come right off the bat doing good. You know, Dawayne Haskins was picked in the team, so, you know, it's expected that he wasn't going to come in off the bat and set the world on fire. You know, and they benched him, and he thought that he got a raw deal, which he did, in my opinion. So, you know, he's on board. That gives us insurance in case we don't get a quarterback in the draft. You know, we got Dawayne Haskins. So that gives us the opportunity in the first or the second round to not be as stressed out about drafting the heir apparent to Ben Roethlisberger. So he's on board with Steelers Nation. In the comments below, tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll be shooting out another video as soon as some Steelers news happens. Peace.